residents of Jalan Besar GRC, friends and fellow Singaporeans, good evening. My name is Leon Perera, and I am the Workers' Party's candidate for East Coast GRC. Please allow me to greet you in Malay and Chinese before I speak in English. Salam sejahtera. Nama saya Leon Perera dan saya calon untuk Parti Pekerja di GRC East Coast. Kami dari Parti Pekerja meminta sokongan anda di pilihan raya ini kerana kami mahu anda memperkasakan masa depan anda. Undilah Parti Pekerja. Daja, 晚上好。我叫贝黎安。我们工人党一定会尽心尽力为人民服务。My friends, I spent 10 of my childhood years growing up in a flat in Telok Blangah. My parents voted in the 1981 Anson by-election that broke the PAP's monopoly on parliament over the 15-year previous period. My earliest political memory in that house was hearing the shouts of joy coming from the flats all around our home when the by-election result was announced. And I remember watching J.B. Jeyaretnam in Parliament on TV. One person debating a whole chamber of PAP MPs. One person. And my friends, how they mocked him and how they attacked him in debate. And a few months after winning Anson, the PAP government declared that the People's Association would not work with the elected MP of Anson, with opposition MPs, and that decision remains in place today. As a boy, I remember thinking how unfair that all was. At that time, and for all the years since, I felt so grateful that there were a few Singaporeans like JBJ who stood up for democracy, who stood up for political balance in Singapore, in spite of all the obstacles put in their way. And finally, this gratitude led me to become a proud member of the Workers' Party today. My friends, what is at stake in this election? The PAP would have you believe that what is at stake is whether your estate is clean and well maintained. In introducing most of its candidates, the PAP made little mention of national issues. My fellow Singaporeans, we need to ask the PAP, if this is a local election, when is the national election going to be held? When will the PAP hold the election about how our older Singaporeans will be able to afford to retire? When will the PAP hold the election about what the size of our population will be? When will the PAP hold the election about how we manage our trains? This election is about our country. Friends, in its manifesto, the PAP dwelt on its report card for past years, and it offered statements of intent on what it would try to achieve in future. Statements of intent. Now, one of these statements of intent, for example, reads, invest in every Singaporean to help them get good jobs, upgrade, and make the best in life. That's a good intention. I agree. But how exactly are you going to do this? What exactly will you do? The PAP's manifesto gave away very little detail on what specifically they plan to do as a government so as to achieve those intentions for the next 5 years. They expect Singaporeans to give them blind faith that what they do will be what you want them to do. Do you want to give them blind faith? In his National Day rally speech 5 days ago, the Prime Minister asked if Singapore would become an ordinary country with gridlocked government unable to act. Gridlock. We had 7 elected Workers' Party MPs in the last parliament. Did we get gridlock? No. In fact, the last term of parliament has seen a burst of enthusiasm for reform. Many laws have been passed. Many of these addressed problems that were not new. Problems dating back years before 2011. But only after 2011 did the PAP start fixing them in earnest. And in doing so, the PAP moved closer to many of the key positions in the Workers' Party's 2011 manifesto, such as medical insurance and delinking HDB BTO pricing from resale prices. Was the Pioneer Generation package the product of gridlock? Was investing close to $1 billion to improve our creaking train and bus infrastructure the product of gridlock? Was the Silver Support Scheme the product of gridlock? No. Friends, for years we all knew the problems facing some of our older Singaporeans. For years we have been troubled at the sight of elder Singaporeans cleaning hawker centers and picking up cardboard boxes. It's troubled many of us for years. Do you think they do it for exercise? Neither do I. Experts spoke up about this problem. Non-constituency MPs spoke up about this problem. Nominated MPs spoke up about this problem. Even some PAP backbench MPs, some good ones, spoke up about this problem. But the PAP self-check did not work. It was only after the Workers' Party won Aljunied in 2011 that the PAP introduced the Pioneer Generation package and the Silver Support. That worked. There has been improvement since 2011, but there is much more to be done, much more. The Workers' Party has detailed over 130 policy recommendations in its 2015 GE manifesto to improve our quality of life and to strengthen our way of life as a country. The PAP says that this means, and this is an important point, my friends, the PAP says that this means the Workers' Party is claiming credit. Claiming credit. By the same token, they are claiming credit for themselves and giving no credit to the people of Singapore. The PAP are positioning themselves as heroes for partly fixing the problems that they themselves created in the decade before 2011. Do you think they are heroes for fixing these problems? In truth, friends, it was not the Workers' Party that saved the day in 2011. It was the Singaporean people who saved the day. It was us, our collective confidence to stand up and say that Singapore should be shaped by Singaporeans. All the credit goes to the citizens of this great country, the citizens who had the courage and confidence to vote for change. And we can find that courage and confidence again in this general election. What is at stake in this general election, my friends, is just this: the idea that Singaporeans can have a democratic society based on justice and equality as our pledge enjoins us to do. The pledge that our children recite every day in school. My friends, the battle cry of our forefathers was Merdeka. Our battle cry today should be Majulah, forward, onward, not backwards. Don't let 2011 be the end of change for the country that we love. We must have more responsible opposition MPs in Parliament to ensure that the government moves the country in the direction Singaporeans want, not just the direction that they want. Memperkasakan masa depan anda. 掌握民权，保我未来。Empower your future, my fellow Singaporeans, and empower your children's future. Vote Workers' Party. Thank you.